When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
All right, everybody, let's talk about Sainte-Catherine Street and a potential plan to ban cars from parts of Sainte-Catherine Street to create pedestrian-only zones. Opposition voices are growing. Critics, including the team at Ensemble Montréal, argue the plan lacks public consultation and could harm local businesses. And we're talking about a lot of them. Over 2,000 shops along the busy street. Let's go to Julien Hénault-Ratelle, who is official opposition critic on housing at Montreal City Hall for Ensemble Montréal. Julien, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So, what from Ensemble Montréal? What's your position? What's the party's position on pedestrianizing Sainte-Catherine Street?
Yeah, basically we have concern about the project that have been proposed by the Plante administration and that have been made public by La Presse about in the beginning of November. You know, what we have learned is that basically Mayor Plante is planning to pedestrianize 4 sections of Sainte-Catherine Street West. So basically one near Atwater, Concordia, McGill, and the Quartier des Spectacles. And what we heard from the ground is basically that merchants haven't been consulted on the project, and that the vast majority of them are against the proposition. So that's why yesterday I submitted a motion at the City Council basically asking the Plante administration 2 things. So first of all, to make sure that if they do the project, before doing the project, they need the approval of local citizens and merchants. And the other thing that I've been asking the Plante administration is basically to be transparent, because before going forward with such a project on the most important commercial street in Canada, well, we need to have access to all of the documentation. So basically, I've been asking the Plante administration to make public the feasibility studies, the impact studies on traffic, the development plans, as well as the opinions from the police and the fire department.
So does your party have an official position on what it would like to do with Sainte-Catherine Street?
Well, basically what we've been noticing is that the construction that is already in place on St. Catherine, so basically the phase 1 that has been happening like east of McGill, is considered as a success by the local residents and by merchants. So that's why every time that there is a new règlement d'emprunt at the City Hall, we're voting for the different règlements d'emprunt, because we truly believe that what is being done right now by the administration on St. Catherine is good. I mean, it's being appreciated by the local residents and by merchants. We see that it has an impact on parking, but not necessarily on the circulation, in opposition to what we see right now as being the plans of the administration. So that's why we've been asking for that kind of a consultation. And basically, what we proposed to the Plante administration was to hold consultative referendum from Montrealers to make sure that they approve this project, because if we go back in 2021 at the last election, Mayor Plante never promised to make such a project on St. Catherine.
So isn't a big referendum coming up next year? We've got a municipal election, right? And Projet Montréal will have a new leader. We know that Mayor Plante will not run for a 3rd term. We know your party is still waiting to see what happens with your party. Both of your parties will have new leaders. Both of your parties will be able to present a vision. Shouldn't this be left up to the next election campaign for both parties to say, hey, this is the most important street in Montreal, here's our vision, and put it out there and let the voters decide?
Yes. Well, you're absolutely right. And that's basically what we were asking the Plante administration to hold that referendum at the same time as the next municipal election. And I mean, that was an idea of Mayor Plante in 2017 when she was asking Mayor Coderre to hold a referendum at the same time as the municipal election on the cost of a new baseball stadium. So basically, we're just taking the same idea, proposing that at the same municipal election in the upcoming year, so in 2025, we'll have that kind of referendum. But at the same time, otherwise, we need to make sure that every single party has a clear position on the project of Sainte-Catherine, because as I was saying, in the last election in 2021, Mayor Plante never promised to pedestrianize sections of Sainte-Catherine, just like the same for Camillien Hood. I mean, never in 2021 has she been saying, well, you know what, we'll shut down the mountain, we'll shut down Sainte-Catherine. So, I mean, even if she's been elected with a vast majority of Montrealers, so that's the point. But that doesn't allow the administration to do anything they want if it was not in the program that they presented to Montrealers. So, at least if they go towards Montrealer in the upcoming election saying, well, you know what? In our plans, what we want to do is to shut down different sections of Sainte-Catherine. That's what we were planning to do. Well, go ahead, present this to Montrealers and ask for their votes. That's completely fair. But that's not what we are seeing right now. What we see is an administration working behind closed doors, not being transparent with either merchants, the Montreal Centre-Ville SDC, or with the local residents. And that for us is quite problematic.
We're with Julien Hénault-Ratelle from Ensemble Montréal, the official opposition, talking about Sainte-Catherine Street. Julien, do you know how Sainte-Catherine Street is doing just in general? You know, when I talked to Glenn Castanera from Montreal Centre-Ville, boy, does he ever put a good image about how Montreal's downtown and Sainte-Catherine Street is doing, especially when you compare it to other cities. What's your take on how Sainte-Catherine is doing? And if it ain't broke, do we need to fix it?
Well, honestly, it depends on the season, and it depends on the sector of Sainte-Catherine. You know, we know that in the commercial businesses, we are having two difficult times every single year. So basically, the beginning of fall and like the months of January and February, those two are very difficult months in terms of commercial businesses downtown Montreal. And depending on the sectors of Sainte-Catherine, it depends a lot. But, you know, the motion that we've been submitting regarding the pedestrianization of Sainte-Catherine was being supported by Serge Chasseville, who's the independent city councillor for Peter McGill, so basically downtown Montreal. And what he's being seeing on the ground is basically all of the difficulties that we know. So in terms of homelessness, in terms of security, in terms of cleanliness, those are all issues affecting downtown Montreal. And those are the issues that the merchants are telling us that we need to fix. They are not asking us to pedestrianize any street. They are not asking us to make any kind of plans that the Plante administration is proposing. They want us to fix the problems that we know that are affecting right now Sainte-Catherine. So you know, Sainte-Catherine is not dead. Downtown Montreal is not dead. But we see that we are having difficulties. And one of the best part of why downtown Montreal is not completely dead is because we have a lot of local residents living in downtown Montreal compared to a lot of huge downtown across North America. If you take example of major other cities, we see that it's a huge concentration of offices, of commerce, but not necessarily of a residence. So that's a huge positive impact that we have in Montreal that give us some kind of a break during pandemic, helping us to keep downtown surviving. But at the same time, downtown is facing major issues that needs to be addressed by the municipal administration, and that's currently not the case. If you're just taking a look at the vacant commercial space at downtown Montreal, it's going up, and that's a very bad sign of the commercial vitality of the neighborhood.
Well, I lived in Ville Marie Borough for 4 years. It's now been a year since I lived downtown, but living downtown for 4 years, the issue for me, and if I'm a business, what the issue would be is people doing drugs or sleeping in front of their businesses. That would be the issue more than anything else. Okay, Julien, listen, we have to leave it there. I want to thank you for your time.
Sounds good. Well, thanks to you. Have a nice day.
That's Julien Hénault-Ratelle from Ensemble Montréal.